Hi, my name is Sarah and I run a creative business called Peppo Studios while at the same time working a pretty demanding 9 to 5. So join me for a normal week and I'll show you what it looks like to get it all done. So I don't often go into the office on Mondays. To be honest, I work from home most Mondays, but I had a few meetings that I needed to get to this week, so I made the trek all the way over to the office. I work as an environmental consultant and my background is in ecology and environmental science, so I'm actually relatively new to the art world. But I spend most of my time at work either in meetings or doing data analysis or writing reports, so a lot of this is really not super creative work and very different from the kinds of things I get up to when I get home after work. Please forgive me for my incredibly ugly and not organized at all cubicle. I truly have spent zero effort on making it nice. Nothing like walking home from work when it's pitch black outside. Welcome to Boston for like half of the months of the year. My parents are doing something very weird today. So today I made a little bit of time for art after work. I have been working on this little birthday collection for the past few weeks, and so I'm trying to like pull it all together into one spread, and I don't know, you know, I always start second guessing myself and whatever, but it's coming along, so that's pretty fun. And I pulled together like one, I say a last pattern for it. We'll see how that goes. But I pulled together that little plaid today. That one was really quick and easy to do, so that's fun. But another really fun update of things that happened today that I am excited to document is that I actually reached monetization on YouTube. Yay! So to do that, you need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, and I now have both of those things, so I'm super excited about that. I've been keeping an eye on those things, but I just opened up the YouTube Studio app today. I thought it was gonna come tomorrow, basically. But I opened the Studio app today after work and I was like, what? So that's pretty fun. I got it all set up and I'm really excited, and obviously it wouldn't happen without you guys being here, so thank you for being here. I'm going to the office again today, but I could not be bothered to wear my corporate girly fit, so Tuesday fit check. Okay, so I got home from work. I had dinner. Now it's like after 8 p.m. It's almost 8:30 p.m. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, am I just really slow or is this just how it works? I don't know. I get home from work a little after 6 usually, depending on when I leave, and then do dinner, hang out with Nick, and now it's now. So oftentimes my only time in the day to do art stuff is between like 8 or 8:30, and I like to say 10 or 10:30, but sometimes that turns into 11, 11:30, midnight, 12:30. But anyway, I think something else I was thinking about is that a lot of times I put pressure on myself to create art that feels productive, you know, like create art for a reason. Like I'm working on my portfolio right now, for example. I've been on a mission to like create patterns for my portfolio, or sometimes I'm working on commissions, and I don't leave myself a lot of room to just play. And I want to be more intentional about doing more playing just for fun, just for no purpose. And honestly, something I think I should do is keep a sketchbook, which sounds so silly, but like so obvious, you know, but I have historically just used loose pieces of paper because I use like paint or paper pads from all my paintings. But I think I should just get a sketchbook and use it as permission to play and like block that time into my schedule to just do that, or just do things for fun. I've convinced myself, just talking about this, I'm gonna do that tonight. I really love to paint food and like baked goods in particular, but I kind of want to get into all food. So I feel like doing that tonight. I really love to do it, and why not? So I'm gonna do that. I don't know what I'll paint yet, but I'll paint something, and I'm gonna turn on this making of Pixar's Elemental. I love watching these like behind the scenes movies or docuseries and whatever, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a cozy little moment. I struggle in my couch in my living room. I don't have a great setup for painting. I don't have like a coffee table or anything like that. There's no room in my living room for that, so we're gonna have to see. And I also have 3 cats, and they like to jump on things, including my paint, so we're gonna have to get a little creative. So it's kind of funny making these videos because it's very obvious to me that my setup is definitely far from like aesthetic or even super functional, but I make it work, right, with the space that I have. So, you know, oftentimes I paint in my kitchen, just on my kitchen table. Tonight I'm gonna try painting in my living room, but as I said, it's kind of a struggle because I don't have like a coffee table or anything, and I also have cats all over the place. So it's a little bit of a challenge to do this sometimes. Hazel, are you on my paper? Can I have it, Hazel? Please? Please. Thank you, baby girl. You're back, Hazel. Can I have my paper? Actually, you can sit there while I mix my paint. So if you don't know Cloudy Kitchen, I fully recommend that you go on Instagram right now and follow her. I really love her for lots of reasons, but truly every recipe I've made from Cloudy Kitchen is like insanely good. It's so well tested. So anyway, but she also takes amazing photography of her own food, and so I'm very often inspired to paint the stuff that she makes. And don't worry, she and I actually talk about this on Instagram, and I have permission to paint her stuff. I actually designed a whole wallpaper for her using some paintings that I did of her pink buns, so that's really cool, but that's a story for another time. I do apologize for the blurriness of most of these clips. As you can see, I'm mostly filming over my shoulder, and I just use a flexible tripod to literally kind of balance my camera on the couch cushion, so obviously this was struggling a little bit. So I promise, if you keep watching the video, I get a little bit better and better at filming myself paint every single day, so just hang in there. I was kind of approaching this painting as my warm-up because, like I said, I really love to paint like baked goods and food. I just hadn't done it since December, so it had been over a month since my last attempt at this. So, you know, I wasn't thinking about things too much, and I was watching movies and sitting on my couch, so I obviously wasn't taking it like super seriously. I was also trying to use these flat brushes for the first time ever. So something I really love about my current job is that I have a very flexible hybrid setup, and I can basically choose for myself when I'm going to work from home or go into the office. So I definitely take advantage of that, and I personally really like working from home, especially while I'm doing all of this art stuff, because I feel like I basically get an extra hour in my day, and really even more than that, just from the time that I save on not commuting. I had a meeting scheduled this morning, first thing in the morning, and it was just canceled. I'm so excited about it, and it was an hour-and-a-half long meeting. So now I have a whole hour and a half in my morning that I am not gonna be in a meeting, so I'm very excited about that. It's only just after 3 o'clock and I feel like my brain is just like so full of information. Today has been a really meeting heavy day for me and I'm like dealing with a lot of intense data stuff. And I feel like there's only so much of that I can put into my brain in one day. So yeah, this final little push of the day is sometimes kind of hard. I have one more big brain meeting from 4 to 5 and then we'll see. I might have a little stuff to wrap up. Almost there. As much as I can, I try and keep pretty tight boundaries around my work time and then my not work time. So I try and wrap up typically around 5:30, although if you watch the rest of this video, you'll see that that doesn't always happen. That's kind of the nature of consulting, if I'm being totally honest. But anyway, I was really inspired by the French silk pie that I painted yesterday, and so I decided to continue on this cloudy kitchen baked good painting journey. And so I decided to paint her apple cinnamon rolls. So this is fun, and this painting for me was such a like trust the process moment, because throughout the entire thing I was like, where am I going with this? This is just blobs. It just looks like weird blobs, but I was like, no, we must persevere, just keep going and we'll sort this out. And I'm happy to report that I do really like actually where the final piece ended. I also hope you'll appreciate the fact that I have improved my filming setup for this day. I kind of gave up on painting in my living room, so I'm back to my kitchen table and it's way easier to paint on a big flat surface. So yeah, I think I need to stick to my kitchen table for the time being. But anyway, I always get really excited when I'm doing this type of painting and I go back in and add some of those darker shades that got lost in the layers, and then also adding the highlights on the top because it makes it pop so much. Alright, it's just after 6. I just finished up with work for today, so that's very exciting. It's pitch black outside, but that's just par for the course in February in Boston, and honestly I've been getting excited because we've been getting a little bit more sun in the day compared to like December. So the other day I was like, Nick, guess what? The sun sets at 5:01 today. It's after 5. It's very big news. But anyway, what I'm gonna do right now is pretty fun, I think. It's the start of Nick's birthday week this week. So I don't know if other people do this, but something we do in my family is like the week leading up to your birthday, we do all kinds of things to just like celebrate that person. It's a tradition that I'm continuing on. So my mom and my sister actually made this really cute birthday banner. I can't really show you the whole thing, but it says happy birthday, and it's stitched in these cute fabrics on this whole banner. And we bring it out for every birthday week. So I'm gonna hang up Nick's birthday banner. He is at work right now, so he won't see it. And then for his little birthday week treat, I think, well, he loves cookie cakes, like those Mrs. Fields cookie cakes with like frosting on it. And I was like, maybe I'll do like mini cookie cakes. And then I was like, that's just cookies. Those are cookies. But I do think I'm still gonna do like a mini cookie cake where it's like maybe shaped like a little heart or something like that, or a circle or whatever. And then I do little icing on it. So that's what I think I'm gonna try and do before he gets home from work in about an hour and a half. So let's do it. I'm kind of laughing to myself at how much cloudy kitchen influences throughout this video, but like I said earlier, I'm serious. Her recipes are just the best. They're so thoroughly tested. I feel like most of the time after work, I often feel a little bit too drained to do anything like this, like baking or really like cooking anything too crazy, especially because I kind of want to save any creative energy I have for my artwork, which already feels honestly pretty drained by the end of the day. But for birthday week, I was feeling very inspired and very excited. And honestly, this is a funny kind of, I guess I don't really want to say silver lining because there's lots of benefits to baking cookies, obviously. But one of them is that while I'm in my baked goods painting era, I literally, one time I baked cookies just so that I could like take my own reference photos for my own painting. So hey, it's kind of a wombo combo, right? Anyway, as you can see here, I got kind of creative with this cookie cake situation, and I just used some aluminum foil to create a heart-shaped mold and press my cookie dough into it. So it's definitely a non-traditional way of baking a cookie, but it was fun. And then I just made some American buttercream and I piped on some cute stuff. I didn't plan this out well, but I really wanted to write birthday to make it clear that this was for Nick's birthday, not Valentine's Day. So I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I basically, after doing that initial French silk painting, I decided I just kind of want to fill this entire page with Cloudy Kitchen baked goods just for fun. I think that would be a kind of fun little project to do. So for this one here, night 3 in a row of doing this, I am working on a cranberry bread, and it's fun for me to watch the progression really from that French silk to the cinnamon roll and now to the cranberry bread, because I was kind of getting back into my stride and building up my confidence again, because with the French silk I was like really overthinking it, and then it ended up looking to me not exactly what I had in mind. And then I spent a lot of time on that cinnamon roll to figure out how I wanted it to look, but at the end of the day I was happy with how it ended up. And then for this cranberry bread, I was able to crank it out in like half an hour. It was really awesome, and I feel like I'm building my confidence again in this technique. It's 4:15. I'm really close to done with work for today. I feel like Fridays are always like, Friday afternoons, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm about ready to be done, so I'm at that point now. But the light outside is so beautiful. So I'm kind of like, I kind of want to go outside before it gets pitch black out. The sunset tonight is at 5:08, so we're making progress. But that means I have less than an hour until the sun goes down. So I need to make a decision here about what I want to do. Luckily, I work in consulting, and so I have some flexibility. I'm done with meetings for today. I finished my last meeting at 4, and so like if I wanted to go outside for a little bit and then finish up work after that, I totally can do that. But I also am the type of person who really likes to like front load my day as much as I can. So like I don't really like doing some work like for my 9 to 5 and taking some time off, then working again, because that means that I have to be at work like later in the evening. So I personally prefer a clean cut and just work for my block of time and then step away from it for the evening. Maybe I'll just go for a really quick walk, just like a quick little short 5-10 minute walk around the block, and then finish up what I was working on at work. It's very late. By that I mean it's like almost midnight, something like 11:40 on Friday night, and I'm just now getting around to painting, and I'm trying to do it. I mean, I actually really want to do it. It's something I've been looking forward to all day. And today's just been one of those days where I actually ended up working until far later than I planned to. I finished work around like 7:30 today, which is quite late, but I was working on some data stuff, and I knew that by the time I got back to it next week, I would kind of forget my train of thought. So I was like, I just need to do this. And then Nick and I are doing a really last minute trip to Florida this weekend. So like literally we booked the tickets yesterday to go tomorrow. My partner's parents live in Florida, so we go down there pretty often. So I'm like doing laundry and I need to get ready for that and stuff. So all of that to say, that's why I haven't gotten to paint today yet, but I really want to. And I'm gonna try and challenge myself to like paint my next baked good in like 30 minutes or less. I personally have the tendency to like overthink things or get a little bit too finicky with my paintings. And I do like it when I lean a little bit more into the like gestural realm with my work. So let me show you what I'm thinking of painting. It's another Cloudy Kitchen recipe, of course. Funfetti cake. And let me show you a picture. Her stuff is just so perfect. Like, Look at that. Looks so good. And I think it would just be fun to paint. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes to do it. I've been watching this show on Netflix. It's called Heartstopper. If you are into like teen romance, like teen dramas, I mean, I love all of them. You'll probably love the show. So anyway, it makes me very happy to watch it. So they do an amazing job of capturing the like teen, like young love flutters, and I just love it. So it's very fun to watch, would fully recommend it. So I'm probably gonna put out an episode of that and see what I can get done within one episode. So if you've seen my art studio tour, you'll know that my art studio is just my kitchen, like I was saying earlier. And I keep all of my art supplies like on this little counter right next to my kitchen table. So it's turned into like a mess. It's just like a pile of art supplies. I really need to figure it out. But it does make it convenient for being able to just whip it out like this to be able to paint kind of on a whim. And I think that's more important to me right now at this stage than like having everything nice and organized in a tucked away place, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, one of the benefits that I've seen of painting all of these baked goods is that at their core, many of these use a similar color palette. Obviously this funfetti has a bunch of like bright colors in it too for the sprinkles, but because I have that giant Stay Wet palette, I can basically just keep all of my paint on there on that palette and then just reuse it for each of these baked goods. So that saves me a ton of time because mixing my paint, I mean, I can easily spend like 30 minutes just tweaking my colors to be just right. So I love this. So I hope you enjoyed watching my pretty regular week, Monday through Friday. As you can see, it's not like hyper glamorous or anything. A lot of the times I'm making art in the dead of the night and staying up way too late and also managing my YouTube channel and stuff. And the reality is that often this means that I am functioning on less sleep than I would like to be. It was so funny editing that video because some of the clips I'm like, girl, you look and sound tired. That's just the truth sometimes. And I say this a lot in my videos, but my mentality, my mindset behind this right now is that it's something coined short-term squeeze for long-term ease. This was a quote I got from one of my very favorite online business people, Caroline Zook, in a podcast episode. But for me, the idea is right now is a difficult time because I'm like, I have my feet in two different worlds, right? I've got like this corporate 9-to-5 consulting science world, and then I've got this like art creative business world, and both of them are very demanding and require a lot of me at the same time. And I know that like long-term forever, this way of living is probably not super sustainable or not what I would want to do all the time. But to me, this is kind of what it looks like to slowly build this little creative business while also working my more traditional job. I'm a relatively risk-averse person, and so I definitely was not ready, or definitely still am not ready to like jump fully into being my own boss or any of that yet. I want to build up this business to be something that I feel confident can support me and where I don't have to like be scrambling for money every single month. Anyway, so I'm taking a slow, steady, sustainable approach to building this, but the reality of that just means that I have to balance my time quite a lot. This week I also didn't do like a ton of other things outside of work other than my own creative business stuff and hanging out with my partner. Partially this is because the Peppo Studio stuff that I'm working on genuinely just takes a lot of my time. I'm also like a giant introvert and homebody, and I really like being at home, so it doesn't necessarily bother me that I'm not doing a lot of other things. That's just my reality at this stage of my life right now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. One completely free way that you can support me and my little baby channel would be to leave a comment below this video. I would love to hear, especially for those of you who are similarly balancing 2 or more big demands on your time. How do you manage that? This genuinely helps my video get seen by other people, and I really appreciate you for taking the time to leave me a little comment. If you enjoyed watching this one, here's a link to the last vlog that I posted. So with that, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next week for the next one. Take care, everyone.